What's up, y'all? welcome to welcome to the Kenny Parker Show. We do this every Tuesday and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on a Friday evening. I know you could be a lot of places. You could be up in the club tearing it down, but instead you're hanging out with me, so that's dope. Spook Realm 4Q, you are first in the building as usual. And real quick, let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see. Please, if you don't have the book and you ain't a sucker, a part-time, full-time sucker, please pick up the book. The link is in the description below. My brother's name is Kenny. You already know the drill. It's the origin story of BDP, the whole thing, plus some behind-the-scenes information. Audiobook is a couple weeks away, maybe 3 weeks away. Yes. And if you get a chance, I'm saying now, if you get a chance, please hit the like button so that we could get more like-minded people to the channel. Um, and last but not least, big up to the Rewind crew who's gonna check this out later on. Um, Big up to my man Al Scratch, Illin Al Scratch. I spoke to him earlier in the week. Big up to him. Uh, and let's see what we got going on. Hey, Tracy, what's going on? Supreme Divine, what up? Rod Justice, boom. I'm number 3 on that like button. Thank you. Kenny Parker, have you ever read any of books written by KRS-One? I read all the books. As a matter of fact, the Gospel, I believe I have. The Gospel of Hip Hop, which came out probably 20 years ago by now, maybe more than that. Um, Probably like 25 years. That was a combination of 3 separate books. The Gospel of Hip Hop is really 3 books combined into one book. So I have I have the first 2 books. They were like little paperbacks, little like almost pamphlets, and then the full Gospel of Hip Hop. So I read all of that, and then Karis has a book called Ruminations. I read that and got an autographed copy. And he's about to drop a 3rd book coming up. Uh, it could be out already. I have not read that one yet. Great question, though. Uh, Spook Realm says, imagine it's 1990 and you get a call from the NBA to play professionally. What would you have done back then? Passed out. Um, by 1990, I was already moving into music, though. So if I had got a call in 1990 to join the NBA, I would have had to have quit BDP, which I had just started becoming the DJ. But to play in the NBA would have been a dream come true, which probably would have been the only reason, because DJing for BDP, being a DJ is also a dream come true. Playing in the actual NBA would have been the only thing that would have made me quit BDP, obviously. Great question. Flow21, what's good? Hope you're feeling okay. Henry Cedillo, where you been? Peace to the gods and earths. Yes, peace. Um, let's see. Let me try to move quick. Christopher Caldwell and Abel Valdez, thank you so much for your contribution to the channel right off the bat. Really, 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 really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's see, Peace Kenny, would you consider getting a phone number for the show? Some of us can call in or even a video chat kind of thing so you can at least know what we look like. That would be dope. Maybe for the new year. I don't know if I would do a phone call in though, but I might invite some people, especially some of the regulars to the channel, just to we do a quick like little introduction and yeah, let's see what everybody looks like. That would be dope. I think for the top of the year, I'm gonna start doing that. Great People have mentioned that before, but I don't know about the phone calls, but definitely invite to the show if I can figure it out. Gregory Dennis, what up? So shout out to Onyx and EPMD, two of my favorite rap groups ever. Word up, son. Two of my well, first of all, EPMD is right at the top of my favorites ever. Shout out to Eric and Parrish. Somebody tagged me yesterday in a song that I did on an independent label with Parrish. I actually got a chance to produce Parrish Smith. I think Aguilar was on the track. Aguilar, Parrish Smith, and a couple of other guys. The group was called Death Before Dishonor, and I haven't heard that record in so long. And somebody tagged me in it. Um, that's the fam. Shout out EPMD. Shout out Scratch. Shout out Fendi, Bernard, the whole squad. And Onyx. Shout out to those guys too. We did a bunch of shows with Onyx back in the day. I was most cool with Big DS. Y'all remember Big DS? He's on the cover of the first album. He passed away sadly after that album. I used to see him all the time out and about. He was super cool. Rest in peace, Big DS. And rest in peace to Shy Skills. Not Shy Skills. Yeah, Shy Skills was the producer. Shy Skills, yeah, who produced that first Onyx. He doesn't first Onyx album. He doesn't get enough credit. He was incredible on that album, and he passed away too. Um, let's see, moving on. Mr. York, Patrick Y. Thank you for reminding. I have down. There's some other people I'm just lost. Sydney Rhodes, what up? John Walker, what up? Um, Spook Up says, mass holes in the house. Big up to the mass holes. I don't know why. I feel like I like mass holes. I don't even know the mass holes, and I feel like I have a kindred spirit with them. Kenner Smith, what up? Silk Child 75, what up? Oh shoot, KP, what's good, bro? Friday prize of the Fugees done got hit with prison time. Oh, I didn't see that. Well, I knew he lost the case. How much time did he get? Damn. Big up the prize. He's super cool. I was cool with all of the Fugees. We used to do a bunch of shows with them, and um, also everybody was cool. Big up Wyclef. Big up Prize. Damn. Shout out to Miss Hill. And big up another unsung, I'm gonna say unsung DJ who doesn't get mentioned at all, who's a super dope DJ, one of my favorites to see live, DJ Leon. DJ Leon, DJ for the Fugees, and he DJ for Lauryn Hill, and I believe he DJ for Wyclef individually. And the way he DJs with the band, super dope. DJ Leon, if you out there, I would love to have you come on the show. Haven't spoken to you in decades, but I have nothing but super respect for you. Hey, sweet Goldilocks, what's up? Dan Marasuti, Scarborough, Canada, what's up? Um, let's see. I Paul says Benny Doyle is the dude at the beginning of Peace Porridge called a daylight whack. Yeah, Benny Doyle, you messed up, man. You messed up big time last week. I'm not gonna let the term daylight Doyle stick, but you really opened up a hornet's nest. And I believe the Daylight album drops today. Haven't had a chance to listen to it just yet. Uh, Vegan Monster, what's up? Jermaine Brown, what's up? Lindell Handy Sr. I haven't seen this name in a while. What up? See a bunch of the old regulars sticking in. Lethal Dawn, what's up? Ilroy the MC says the new Daylight is absolutely bananas. Don't tell me that, and I haven't listened to it yet. Big up Paz, big up my brother Maceo. Those are my brothers, Paz, Maceo. Rest in peace, Dave. Prince Paul, who was on this channel a few months ago. I know all of y'all saw that interview. 49 Neil, what's up? Um, Dizzy, hey Kenny, how's your week going? It's going great. I am alive and kicking, so that's good. Patrick Sargent, what up? Percy Miller, what up? Dre Stack Dollars, what up? Lindell, you know when anytime somebody mentions essays on BDPism, I get a smile on my face. One of my top 5 favorite Boogie Down production songs, and a mystery song for me. I believe you were referring to The Science of Rap. No, the Science of Rap was a book, and then that is incorporated into the Gospel of Hip Hop, I believe. I think The Science of Rap, and there was another book. It was like 2. It was The Science of Rap, was like a paperback pamphlet, like a paperback. Then there was another book maybe before that, and those got combined, and then the Gospel of Hip Hop, which is brown hardcover, has all of those in there. B-Boy Jones says a lot of athletes want to be rappers and vice versa. Yeah, yeah, man. Especially these days, it's easy to be a rapper. Percy Miller says, "Where my homies? I'm still listening to Ill Al Scratch. Yeah, they was dope." I mentioned this before. Who produced the video Jack of Spades and how that come about with the Waynes? I think I've mentioned that before. I don't know who shot the video, probably Damon Wayans, but I mentioned before that originally they asked Eric B. and Rakim to do the song. And for some reason, Eric B. and Rakim couldn't or wouldn't or whatever, couldn't do it. So then they asked KRS BDP to do the song, and they gave Chris an advanced screening of the movie, I guess, or copies of the movie. And KRS wrote a dope theme song for Jack Spade that was produced, I believe, by D Nice. I believe D Nice did the beat or did some of the beat or whatever, but I believe D Nice had a huge hand in the production of Jack of Spades. KRS did the scratches, Jack, Jack, chicka Jack, Jack. That's KRS on the cut. And it was in the movie. And back in those days, it was very rare for a rapper to be in the soundtrack of a mainstream movie. So that was like, it wasn't the first. I know LL did it before. Some other people probably did it before, but for a non-rap movie, that was very rare in '89. That was a big hit for us too. And I mentioned before that Miss Melody convinced Chris to write her into the song. And every time she used to come on stage and says, "Nah, man, I ain't buying it," the whole crowd would go crazy. That was like a part of the show we used to save. You would not see, she would not come out until Jack of Spades comes on. And then she would come out while Chris is rapping, and she would come from the back and everybody would just start cheering. And she would say, "Nah, man, I ain't buying it." And the whole place would explode. We used to laugh every night, like, what? Um, B-Boy Jones says, "Have you listened to the Daylight album yet? Seems pretty amazing at first listen." I have not. Jermaine Brown, yo, Kenny, can you explain the process of how a studio project is converted to vinyl? Um, well, first you go in the studio and you record the song. You record the lyrics, you lay down the music, you mix the song, you get it all the way you like it. You have the song the way you like it. Then you take it to a place called mastering. And mastering is like a final tune-up to get the song ready for mass production. So what mastering does is get a final EQ of not the individual tracks, but the whole record. EQs the record, brings the level up to standard volume. If you want to do any last minute EQs or last minute things, you can't change the record, but you can add a little bass, add a little highs, do a little things like that. You could fade it where you want to fade it. You could add snippets on the front of it. You could add things on the back. So once you leave mastering, they have the record ready for mass production. Now, at mastering, they make, I think they make a master version for CD and they make a master version vinyl. They will actually make like a vinyl version, a version for vinyl. And you could take a test press home, like an acetate. It's called the acetate. You could take it home to listen to be sure you like it. And then you go back, you listen. If you have any problems, you call them, we fix it. Or if you say, I like it, then they send whatever this, uh, I forgot what they called it. Let's call it a mold, but that's not the word for it. But let's call it a mold. They send that to the pressing plant, and then the pressing plant then takes it and makes a bunch of copies. And I'm told when they're making this mold, you can't even stand in front of it because this mold is so sensitive that if you speak in front of this mold and a little piece of moisture from your mouth, it could be microscopic, gets on top of this mold, it could create a pop, that little speck, and that pop will be in your record mass produced. So be thousands of records with this little pop in it just because you were talking near this mold. So you have to, when they making it, you have to be away from the mold. I remember that. Um, and then it comes out. That's like a short story. I mean, it's more technical than that, but that's how I remember it. Rich Shot, what up? Gregory Ness says Aguilar is on the Grand Theft Auto 3 soundtrack, which takes place in New York. Wow, he must have got a nice check for that. Whoa. CMC in the place to be. What up? Hold on. Ilroy the MC. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Much appreciated. Says Pa said we worth millions but not millionaires because the music industry rules are in despair. Hope that doesn't start a rant. I'm not gonna rant, even though you know how I feel about the music industry jerking people. Everybody was complaining. They were complaining back then. Imagine this Fuji sold 18 million copies of the score worldwide. 18 million. I believe 8 in America. That was one of the biggest albums of the year. And he's sitting there saying, we're worth millions, but not millionaires. How is that possible? The record companies. Okay, I'm gonna not lose my mind. I think I made this a little too big. All right, let me get back to where I was. I lost my place. Oh, damn. Bebo Joseph Price got 14 years. Oh, wow. Wow. Price got to be what, in his 50s, early 50s, maybe? When he gets out, he's going to be in his mid 60s. Oh, yo. You know how long 14 years is? That crew has had such bad, well, I don't want to use the word luck, but I'm going to use the word luck. Bad luck, because John Forte was another one that got caught up in a alleged drug smuggling thing, which I heard it wasn't even that. But and he spent a good amount of time in jail till he eventually got pardoned. Um, and Miss Hill, Lauren L. Boogie, spent time in jail too. 3 out of the 4 members of the Fugees that were on record have spent time in jail. Only Wyclef has not went to prison. And I believe Wyclef was caught up in a wasn't he caught up in like a scandal with his nonprofit? I don't know if he went to jail for that, but I remember that. I don't know how that resolved itself, but damn, the Fugees, man. Yo, that really kind of messed me up right now. I used to see Fugees all the time. Remember, I mean, Prize. I remember I saw Prize in the club, the Palladium, and I was telling him how much I liked his dancing. What video was that? It was the video, Wyclef's video. Um, oh man, staying alive. We're trying to stay alive. I believe Prize is dancing like John Travolta in that video. And I saw Prize and I was like, yo, you killed it dancing. And he was like, really? I haven't even seen the final cut. So when I was telling Prize I saw the video and I liked his dancing, he had not even seen it. And we were just laughing about that. That's craziness to me. Yo, that's I'm sorry to be that just I didn't know. I mean, he got caught up in some big time. They were trying to act like he was a spy or something. Jermaine Brown says, Yo, Kenny, who has the last say on what an album cover looks like? Well, it depends on how big you are as an artist. I mean, there is a part of the record company. It's not marketing, promotion, artwork. There's a part of, maybe there's a part of the record company that does all the artwork. They make up logos for you, they do your covers, everything. And they do the photo shoots and everything. So now, if you're a big artist, you could come with ideas. You can look at the all of the stills and try to pick which one you like the best. You know what represents you, blah blah blah. But if you're a new artist, most of the time the record company is deciding what they think would be best to sell. So they will usually just tell you this is what it looks like. Here's your album cover. Do you like it? I know you do. But as you get a little more established, you can kind of have a say. But mostly it's the record company. B-Boy Jones says, camera looking sharp today. Let's see, man. Let's see. Don't jinx it. Um, Jermaine Brown says, hit that like button right now. Please do. Um, Dre Stack Dollars, what up? What's one of your favorite tracks you produced throughout your career? That's the tough question because for me, my tracks are like children. So it's like saying, what's your favorite child? So I have different tracks for different reasons. I'm going to go favorite tracks. I'm going to go Heather B. All Glocks Down because that was an important record for both of us at the time. I'm going to go We In There from Sex and Violence because that's the first track I ever presented to KRS and he accepted. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go those two. I'm gonna go We In There. And there's a song called Feel the Vibe, Feel the Beat that was on the back of, it's like a bonus track on Sex and Violence, which was on the back of 13 and Good. That's my favorite song I ever produced for KRS. So it's Feel the Vibe, Feel the Beat, We In There, and All Glocks Down are my favorites. But like I said, they're like children to me. So I mean, once you put it out there, you just hope people like it, man. Donald McCall says, "Wow, Kenny is didn't know De La Soul dropped a new album." That is not true. And not only did I know, but one of the I don't want to say his name, but one of our faithfuls here sent me an advanced listen to it like 2 days ago, an advanced link. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and listen to it. Absolutely, I knew De La was dropping. Are you kidding me? Let me scroll down a little bit because I'm behind. I fall behind so fast. I like this though, the greatest YouTube channel ever created. Thank you. I got some good questions today. Um, y'all got some good questions, which is causing me to fall behind. Lindell says, KP, I was listening, spinning some of my old vinyl and came across Dawn Barron, Young, Gifted, and Black LP. Do you remember that album? And did you really get rid of your vinyl? I remember the Dawn Barron. I only remember the single. I remember Dawn Barron from Masters of Ceremony. And then I remember the record he did when he was going at Heavy D. He tried to diss Heavy D. Remember he had the record, Why Everybody Want to Sound Like Me? Remember that? Is that on that album? Why does everybody want to sound like me? And he's mad because Heavy D was going diddly 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 dee. And Don Barron was going diddly 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 grandpa, diddly 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 Doctor Who. And then Heavy D came out with diddly diddly dee. So Don Barron was trying to say, why is everybody trying to sound like me? Now, I don't know if Heavy D responded, but I remember that. I think I might have met Don Barron once. Big up to Masters of Ceremony. Big up to my man, Grandpa. Um, and did I get rid of my vinyl? Most of it, yeah. I still got a lot of good pieces, but I had thousands of doubles and old records in messed up condition, and it just became too much. The records were running me out of house and home, and I had moved from one place to the next, and moving my records took 2 days, and I was like, I can't do it no more. But I still got my prized possession records. Um, let's see. Chris Morale, I haven't seen you in a minute. Kevin Parker, have you caught up with any of the owners of the AI or Al vids that have been coming out? Kenny Lattimore has caught up with them and took them to task for releasing their info. I don't know what that is that you're talking about. Um, you'd have to put me up on that. Um, Vegamite says, I think it's called the plate. Yeah, to make the vinyl. Is it called the plate? But I think they had a more technical name for it. But we could call it a plate. Um, yeah, we can call it that. Buffalo Gal, Buffalo Gal 37. That's a dope name. Sounds like baking a cake and running through the kitchen. Um, yeah, it does sound like baking a cake. I would imagine mastering would be the equivalent. The cake is already done. It's almost like putting frosting on it, but it's even beyond frosting because when you go to mastering, the song is done. Yeah, it sounds like baking a cake, but I guess it would be the equivalent of taking a cake and putting it in a box to sell. You have the cake out the oven, now you're putting it in a box. Mm. Mr. York says, KP, I can't believe Lincoln didn't have team sneakers for the basketball team. I went to Truman from 78 to 81. In my junior senior years, we had leather Converse All-Stars with the green star. That y'all was balling, man. Lincoln did not, absolutely did not have team sneakers. For those of you that read my book, you know that I wish I could have got some sneakers. Um, no, we did not have. Gregory Nettis just be coming out random. You just be just random. The Usual Suspect still got to be the best plot twist ever in a movie. I think it's right up there. Shawshank Redemption is up there. We talked about this before. Great plot twist that nobody saw coming. I had Shawshank Redemption up there too, but Usual Suspects is up there. Did y'all see Kevin Spacey crying on was it Piers Morgan? Kevin Spacey says that he's broke and owes millions in legal fees and for his home. They are foreclosing on his home. They are selling his home off because he can't afford to pay for it, and they're using it to pay for legal fees. And he lived in Baltimore, he says, and he says right now he has nowhere to live. He has no home and no money. Now I was looking at it. Now, Kevin Spacey's one of the early people and one of the biggest actors to get caught up in the whole Me Too thing movement. And sadly, see, I don't know what to make of that because he got accused of a lot of things, but he won all of his court cases. Every last one of his court cases, he won. The civil cases, I guess, are still pending, but all of his legal cases, he won. He has never been convicted of any of the things that he was accused of. And yet he lost everything. And he also did admit, though, that he was a little bit, maybe he was inappropriately handsy with some people. So he admits that he might have taken it across the line, being handsy. He calls it handsy with certain people, but it never reached a criminal level in court. Nonetheless, he lost it all. Crazy. Oscar winning, one of the greatest actors of this generation, of the past 35 years, maybe. And he is practically homeless. Um, Crazy. Disc makers has some cool videos showing how they produce their vinyl. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, you could look that up. Um, Jason Wall says, KP, what two rappers sounded the best vocally together? Not the best rappers, but their voices work good off each other. I'd say Nice and Smooth. I'd say that's a great pick. Any rappers to me who are completely different. Like, for example, De La Soul, Plug One, Plug Two are very similar to me. They are great, but we're talking about voices that the blend, like I think Q-Tip and Fife together are that was the blend. That was the perfect sweet spot that made Tribe Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. So happy for them, my brothers. Um, Q-Tip and Fife, I like Nice and Smooth. They're completely different. Um, I'm trying to think because, like I said, some groups you would have to know the artist to know which one is which. Like sometimes you could think it's one of the guys and it be the other guy, but when there's two distinctly different artists, that makes it dope. Like Chuck D and Flavor Flav is dope. Um, yeah, I would go with that. Chuck and Flavor, Nice and Smooth, Tribe, just off the top of my head. As I fall further behind. Lindell says, I saw a video KRS talking about the OG version of Criminal Minded having the song title Hope Beat instead of Dope Beat. Yeah, it was a misprint. I have the one that says Hope Beat. Yeah, if you have a Criminal Minded album that says Hope Beat, not only is it a B-Boy Records version, because it's been on a bunch of different distributors, but B-Boy Rock Candy, but it's one of the early pressings that says Hope Beat instead of Dope Beat. Flowetry says John was gone till November. Damn, y'all killing him. Um, Yankees 56809. What's up? I'm about to do the Benny Doyle scroll down already. It's only 8:35. I'm so far behind. First post says Wyclef was in that Haiti hurricane relief scam. Yeah, one of them. Yeah, because they had that earthquake. Yeah, because I believe he was running for what is it, president or prime minister of Haiti or something, whatever they call their representative, and he was looking like a viable candidate. And then they pulled out his foundation and found some indiscrepancies, and it messed up his whole um, campaign. Foshi One says he said he wasn't really siphoning funds from his Haitian Relief Fund, I think. Yeah, he probably said he was innocent, but it hurt him. Um, CMC in the place to be. KP, there's a Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival clip circulating. I think I DJ'd in a Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival back in like '07. Common and Foxy Brown were on stage together a week ago. This event annual? Yeah, the Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival, I believe, is annual, and I believe it's been going on for a long time. Because like I said, I think I DJ'd in one in '07, if I recall. Common and Foxy Brown on stage together. That's weird. Not weird, but not weird. That's odd because they don't really have a record together. Wonder what they were doing. I wonder if it was one person's show and the other person just came out. Um, Big up to Common. That's my brother. Um, super dope MC. Uh, I never met Foxy Brown, but I'm cool with my brothers. Big up Anton. Big up Pretty Boy. I see Pretty Boy once, a couple times, said what's up. I don't really know him that well, but he's cool when I see him in Brooklyn. But Anton, that's my man. What up, Anton? Um, let's see. I do the Benny Doyle scroll down right now because I'm so far behind. Oh no, KP, you ever work with or know Irv Gotti? Yeah, I knew Irv Gotti when he was DJ Irv, before he was Gotti, when he was the DJ for Mike Geronimo. I think I've mentioned that on this channel. Um, I met him when Mike Geronimo had Shit's Real. That record was dope. And they had a show. They had a show in New York outside. It was Smith and Wesson, Nas, and Mike Geronimo, and some other people too. And after Mike Geronimo and them went off, I walked up to Irv, DJ Irv, and I was like, yo, I really like that song. It's like one of my favorite records. And he was like, we had to play it over because the original sample from Denise Williams, she would not let us use the sample because I believe she's a born again Christian or something like that. And she did not want any rappers rapping over her music. So they had to play it over. So he said, the one you hear is played over. You should hear the original one, how we originally did it. And he said he had some in his trunk. So I walked with DJ Irv over to his car and he couldn't find him in the trunk. And he was like, I got to get you a copy. I got to get you a copy. So that was the thing. I needed to get a copy of Shit's Real, Mike Geronimo from DJ Irv. And I didn't really see him anymore. Then he became Irv Gotti. And I saw him in like 2016 at Mr. Chow's, restaurant in New York. I saw him there and we kicked it for a second. He was eating, so I didn't want to bother him. We just said, what's up, real quick, and we left. I should have said, yo, you never gave me a copy of the Geronimo. But yeah, so that I never worked with him, but he was cool back in the day. Rest in peace to him. All right, I'm gonna jump down. Um, Mr. York says, Kenny, Benny Doyle's in the building. Get it right tonight. Native Doyle. Um, let's see. I'm gonna jump in right here. This is cool. Dre Stack says mine had that Hope Beats. Yeah, Hope Beat is a real early copy. Humpty and Money B and Pac. I looked at that more as like a posse cut, as not so much like a group. They weren't really a group. I know Pac jumped on their same song. That's how Pac blew up off of that same song. And then they did I Get Around together. But I would look at that more as uh like a guest appearance. Rest in peace, Pac. Rest in peace, Shock G. And big up to my brother Money B, who I was supposed to call. Y'all be forgetting to call people. I was supposed to call Money B like last year. I'm bugging. Big up Money B, man. Big up DJ Fuse too. Um, let's see. Voice blend is tough. One of the first times I remember noticing a nice blend was Dr. Dre and MC Ren when they rhymed together on Straight Outta Compton. Yeah, actually, I thought Easy coming in at the end really flipped the whole record. His voice really, his frequency really cut through to me on that record. But yeah, that NWA had a nice blend. I like, and not only the voices are different, but their whole personas are different. That's what I like a whole different persona that sound good together. Um, let's see. Let's see. Rosmel says I'm late, but here. Thank you, Rosmel. What up? Patrick Y says, I saw Lance at ABCD camp before he started his freshman year at Lincoln. He was supposed to go to Bishop Loughlin. Word? I went to the ABCD camp, but it wasn't called that then. It was called something else. Big up Lance Stevenson. Dallas says dub plates, Kenny, props. Nah, I'm not talking about a dub plate, because a dub plate, first of all, is small. Acetate is the size of a 12-inch. BDP used to have many special acetates made up for us of instrumentals. We used to get them made so we could rock them in the shows. I don't hardly have any of them left. Um, they were the size of a 12-inch. Dub plates were a little bit smaller. Dub plates were like 10-inch. They were a little bit bigger than a 45, but not as big as a 12-inch. They were like 10 inches maybe. But these things you could take, you made them special so you could take them and play them in different places. A lot of the dance hall artists use dub plates. But what they're talking about, is it called a lacquer? What I'm talking about in mastering is a special plate that they make just to send to the pressing plant. You don't play it. You don't, like I said, you don't even breathe near this thing. Um, but that's what I'm talking about. Gregory Nutter says, bring Jim Jones to your show. Okay. I've never met Jim Jones. Only person I ever met from Dipset was Cameron when he first came out with Horse and Carriage. Horse and Carriage Cameron. He was cool. He was super cool. I don't know any of the Dipset at all. Um, yeah, I would love to talk to Jim Jones. Um, Gregory Nutter said, if Jim Jones come to the Kenny Parker show, he would argue with Kenny about him having better braids than KRS-One. He probably would. Absolutely. And he would say his braids were more influential. He would say the new generation don't even know who KRS-One is compared to him. So um, I would love to get a little bit further into his argument, because I feel like when he went a few months back when he made his statements, there was so much noise and backlash that we didn't really get a chance to really get into. What exactly do you mean? Like, let's break down exactly what you mean. Like, people might have touched on it, but um, I would like to talk to him about that. Like, me, Kenny, I only I could do it. Mangadola, hey Kenny, y'all still in touch with Pal Joey? I am not. I haven't spoken to Pal Joey in decades. Y'all cool? I love that Material Love production. Yeah, Joey was always cool. He did Love's Gonna Get You. He did 13 and Good. He did Duck Down. He did Questions and Answers. Um, he did Hot Music under the name Soho. That's probably his most classic record, which is an independent. Music, hot music. Y'all know that dance record. That's Pal Joey. But it goes under the name Soho. Um, yeah, I'm cool, Pal Joey. I think he moved to Paris or something. I haven't spoken to him in forever. D Nizzy, Kenny, did you hang out at home base? For those that are new to this channel, I've mentioned many times that I hung out so much to the point of addiction, I think. Looking back on it, I think I was addicted to hanging out. And I've told many stories on this channel. I was at every club, every spot, every watering hole, every little rinky dink place that only holds 50 people. I was at all of it. Um, yeah, I was at home base. Um, I'll tell you a funny story about home base. I've seen quite a few people perform there, but one day I went to see Gangstar at home base. Big up Pre, big up Guru. And I was in the crowd, and standing next to me was Greg Nice of Nice and Smooth. So we were talking, me and Greg, we're just talking, and he's on the side. We're just talking like how we're talking right now. And then he goes, hold on a second, hold that point, hold on a second. He walks over, he walks up on the stage. As he's coming on stage, Pre throws on Dwick. Doom, doom, doom. And he comes out, Greg Nice, and the whole place went to the ceiling. Greg Nice, and he's rapping. And then Guru comes in, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and just they rip the home base to the ground. He comes, Greg Nice comes back off stage, comes back around, comes back up to me and says, yeah, so like I was saying, it picks up the conversation. I'm like, hold up. You just left me, went on stage, exploded, blew this whole place. Had to be 1,000 people in there. Just blew this whole place up. And just came back around. I was like, yeah, like I was saying. It was so funny. Even the last time I saw Greg Nice, we was laughing about that. It was like 30 years later. It was so funny. That happened at home base. Funkmaster Flex used to have that rocking. I saw Double X Posse there, not gonna be able to do it. Shout out to my brothers Sugar Ray. I saw them. Rest in peace to his DJ. Oh my God, I can't believe his name escapes me now. Oh, this is terrible because that's my homie. BK. BK from BK from Double X Posse. Big up, rest in peace to him. I saw them there. I saw Ed OG and the Bulldogs at home base. Home base was like right before the tunnel blew. So it was in like 92. The tunnel blew in like 93. So home base was like the hip hop spot. New York had like a few hip hop spots, but then the tunnel seemed like it just solidified everything into one place for hip hop. But home base, wherever Flex was the place. Flex was new on Hot 97. He was like new, and home base was his spot. And they used to have performances every week. It was dope. We never performed at home base though. But yeah, I was in them streets, man. Um, JT says, "Where's MMA Crossfire tonight?" Yeah, where's MMA? MMA, are you okay? What's going on? Um, let's see. Now I'm falling behind a little bit. Uh, let's see. Ilroy Kenny, did you ever go up to the Stretch Armstrong show with your brother? No, I went up there on my own. Um, Big up to Stretch Armstrong. That's my man. I just recently met Bobito like a few years ago. I didn't really know Bobito like that, but Stretch is that's my man. I always say to people, my brothers. You hear me say my brothers a lot, but when I say somebody's my brothers, meaning I have a really good relationship with them, and I've known them for a long time. Stretch Armstrong, I've known for a long time, been to his crib and everything. Um, I went up there and Souls of Mischief, a new group on Jive called Souls of Mischief was up there when I went. Big up to the Hieroglyphics crew. Um, let's see. Um, Large 80 says, "Who are your favorite newer rappers, Kenny?" I don't really listen to a lot of new rap like that. This kid I mentioned a few weeks back, I heard this guy, y'all was saying he'd been around forever, but to me he's new, called Locksmith. Yo, this dude Locksmith is nasty, man. I just discovered him literally like 2 months ago. I don't know how long he's been out, but for me, he's brand new and he is dope. Locksmith, I don't know you. I think you're new. um, but he's dope to me. John Walker says Jim Jones believes he's the real Jim Jones. That's funny. Um, uh, let's see. Jason Wall, what up? Did I say Jason Wall? I love KRS on tape when he was on the stretch and Bobito. Super Nat and Lord Finesse was up there that night. KRS rapped off Let's Get It On, Marvin Gaye sample. Yeah, I remember when he went up there. We had a show the next day. So I think Stretch and Bobito was on a Thursday night. And I saw Chris that Friday. We had a show. So I remember he was talking about it. Big up Super Nat. I need to get Super Nat on here too. That's my brother. Super Nutrillion. Um, Rosmel, left my Philly at home. Do you have another? And the whole crowd would say, I want to get buttered, my brother. That was a great, great record, man. I always mention on this channel, Preem played that for me before it came out. Um, just a classic record from a classic time. Um, Big up Smooth B. Smooth B got some interviews on YouTube. He tells a really good story. He tells some really good. Smooth B is a great storyteller. Funny, man. Mr. York says, but did Dizzy Gillespie play a sax? I saw Greg Nice arguing with somebody saying that Dizzy Gillespie did play a sax. He said he's known, I guess, for the trumpet, but he also played other instruments. I saw Greg Nice arguing that because somebody was trying to say, you messed up saying Dizzy Gillespie plays the sax. Um, we've done a bunch of shows with Nice and Smooth, too. Greg Nice was supposed to come on this channel like a year ago. But we couldn't get the scheduling right. I think I'll reach out to him again and ask him if he'll come on. He agreed to come on, but we haven't got the scheduling right. Um, Danelle Don Freeman. Sorry, yeah, you gotta say it's you, man. Uh, let's see. Let me scroll down a little bit. I'm actually not that far behind, y'all. I'm like 3 minutes behind. People Jones says locksmith from the Bay. Yeah, I'm hearing. Um, to me, he's brand new. Rosmel says the new rap. I think new rap is garbage. I wouldn't call it garbage. I would just say a lot of this stuff is not on my radar. I heard a song with Preem, and I think who's the artist? Is it Ransom? Is it Ransom? Did a song I liked. I saw the video like a week ago. But these guys aren't new, but they're new to me. I don't really listen like that. I like that. CMC's any info on how the D&D project came about? No. I just know that D&D stands for Dave and Doug. Doug Loutwin. I don't forgot what Dave's last name was. Those are the owners. And so many people were coming through D&D that they decided to gather up all of the clients and do an album. And they got a record deal from it and did the D&D project. Shout out my man Ill Will, Willie D from BDP has a song on there. Um, Rest in peace. I don't know how it came about. I was not around, but I heard that's the story. Basically, everybody was in D&D at that time. So many people. Um, Hold on, let me make this bigger again. I just did something, y'all, and made it too big. Okay, here we go. Philly C says locksmith been around at least 15 years. You thinking he's new is crazy, KP? Yeah, that's so I hear. He has not been on my radar until like a month ago, and I'm like, man, this dude is nice. I know I'm way behind, but I just really like he be doing these little segments like he's rhyming in cars, and he doesn't even have any hooks or nothing in the song. He's just rhyming over a beat, and he just has my attention. The way he raps and what he raps about just has my attention. He's dope, man, to me. Buffalo Gal 37. Best show on YouTube. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For those that's new to the channel, this is the Kenny Parker Show. We do this every Tuesday and Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Big up to the Rewind crew who's going to check this out later on. And please hit the like button if you get a chance. It really helps. Thank you so much, Buffalo Gal. Um, Logan 80 says, Ransom is dope. Yeah, I only know that song. It has to come. I'm on YouTube a lot. I look at a lot of YouTube videos. I don't really look at much social media other than YouTube. And the algorithm will send things in your direction. And when they send stuff to me, um, I'll look at it. Roswell says Ransom isn't new. He's been around like 20 years. I know these guys are new. I'm just saying new to me. I don't know these guys' songs. I'm sorry. They probably are dope, but from what I hear, they're new to me and they're dope. Um, let's see. I think I'm at the very bottom. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. This is the first time in a long time that I'm at the very bottom. This is like the last comment. Mark G, what's up? KP, if you could bring 5 rappers and hype man and a DJ together as a group in the right kind of proportion to do an album show, would you put it in there? Who would you put in there? Wow, bring 5 rappers. Well, are we talking dead or alive? Because it would be my favorites. But it would have to make sense though. That's a tough question. That's a tough question. And I think 5 rappers might be too much. I think 3 rappers would be a nice sweet spot. 5 might be a lot, especially because I want 5 different personalities. Like I said, I think that sounds good together. But five might be a lot of personalities. Um, y'all know I love native tongue, so it'd be somebody from there. Maybe Tip or Paz. I really like Ice Cube, one of my favorites coming up. Redman. These are people I could listen to all the time. So it'd be Redman. I'm gonna say Redman, Q-Tip, Cube. I'm not gonna say like Nas because he's about to come out. Well, Redman just dropped too, but uh that's tough, man. Cause you got people I love like Big who's gone. Um, I might want to hear the guard rock him. Might want to hear the guard. I might put the guard in there. Um, that's a really tough question, man. That's a really tough because it'd be 5 people I like, but it also has to be 5 people that make sense. That's a tough question. I probably have to get back on that because like Ice Cube and Q-Tip doesn't make any sense at all to me, but it could be dope. Um, Spook Realm says you're at the bottom because you Benny Doyled over mad important comments. You jive turkey. Yeah, well, I had to. I was falling behind. Yeah, and I missed a lot of comments, man. So if you guys have any comments that I missed that you think are important, please um re-comment them because I'm at the bottom. I'm at the bottom. Mangadola. I'm messing up your name. I think Q-Tip has created the best catalog of production in hip hop history. That's a tough one because Preem out there. There's Preem. There's Dre. You're talking about that did a lot of different stuff for a lot of different people. Tip is great, but he hasn't most of his greatest music he did for himself. I mean, he's done, obviously did, Mob Deep and different people, but I wouldn't put him over Preem or Dre as far as catalog. Yeah, I don't know about, I don't, I love, I love native tongue. I say that all the time. Uh, JT, thank you so much. Says, hey KP, love the stage show stories. Do you have any more where BDP and other crews you saw had a special guest or tricks that made the crowd go crazy? I'm pretty sure. Well, for us, first of all, BDP is a whole different conversation, amount of different things that we try on stage and different routines. But that's a great question, like a special guest. I've seen, of course, I have an epic fails on here on this channel called Epic Fails, and I do believe it's KRS Goes Last. KRS-One Goes Last is an epic fails, and on there I tell a couple stories about special guests and tricks that I saw artists do that made the crowd go crazy. I remember we did a show with Naughty by Nature when OPP was at its peak, and I remember they did OPP and it just ripped. He was at like a college. I think it was in like Atlanta. and just ripped this place to the ground. And then they stopped and started the record over. And Tretch had new rhymes. And he did like another verse new, and the crowd went crazy. And then they started it over. And Tretch had another verse, different verse, and the crowd was losing it. I saw that. I seen Biz do that with Just a Friend. Started back from the top with different lyrics. Um, I remember seeing Ice Cube in New York bring out Yo Yo when America's Most Wanted was new. Not new, but it was, his hot album. And he came to New York City for the first time. And Apollo, it was off the walls in there, man. People rushed, they broke through the back door and rushed the whole place. And it was you couldn't even sit down. There were so many people. Me and KRS was there. We was in the front row. And he brought out Yo Yo to do This Is a Man's World, but they switched up the lyrics and started battling each other. Men's against women battle. That shit was crazy. Um, when PMD used to bring Scratch out and they didn't bring Scratch out, but they let Scratch do all his tricks in the middle of the show. That used to rip. I've seen a lot of. I've seen a lot of. That question right there is like a whole night of me would have to really think of different things that I've seen. Like even like I seen LL Cool J like bring roses out on stage and hand them to girls and shit. And something like that in his audience, the girls went crazy for these roses. Like just something little like that. Um, when Kane used to do Raw and Warm It Up, Kane, and he'd be rapping, and then there'll be a break, Warm It Up, Kane, and he'd be dancing, and he start dancing with Scoob and Scrap. Then he jumps over Scrap's back and then do a split, and then Scoob picks him up by his collar, and he slides back up and grabs the mic and starts rhyming again. Crazy. I see some wild stuff, man. That's a great question. I would have to take out a whole night just for that. Um, JMC 7573. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. It's much appreciated. Says there's a post on Facebook saying Mary J could beat Whitney Houston in a versus if she was alive. I don't think she could, but the majority picked Mary J. Although you gotta say the verses has to do with the amount of records that you have. It's 20, you get 20 songs. So first of all, did Whitney even do 20 songs? I'm sure. I mean, her albums. How many albums does Whitney have? Like 4 or 5? Like four? No, she's done 20 songs. First of all, Whitney's first 2 albums, she could probably do most of the songs on them albums, but so could Mary. And plus, Mary is also. I always say this about the verses, and people argue with me, but it's also who you can bring out. And Mary could done a lot of songs with a lot of people. So it's also who she's bringing out. Whitney's had some gigantic records, though. Some of the biggest R&B records of all time. I think it would be closer than you would think. And I say that because 20 songs and 20 songs, plus Whitney's bringing out, Mary's bringing out a lot of people. Whitney's gonna bring out who? Bobby? She's gonna bring out Bobby Brown. They got like a song together. I don't even know if it was a big record, but they got a song together. She did a song with Lauren. My world is your world is my world, something like that. She could bring out Lauryn Hill. That would be dope. But just to do that song, like you can't bring out an artist and they do other stuff. It would be close. I think it would be closer than people think. Um, it would be close. The more I think about it, that would be close, closer than you think. Um, let's see. Let me scroll down a little bit. Divine Existence, Peace KP, Ice Cube and Q-Tip could make a song called The Sucker Nigga You Love to Hate. That's funny. That would be dope. Oh, People Joseph, I'm going Pharaoh Monch, Black Thought, Nas, Redman, and KRS over a Primo track. Um, these are all dope. This would be dope. It would be dope. I think I don't know if they're I mean they're different, but like to me, Pharaoh Monch and Black Thought, are they that? See, I just for me, I would like five completely different people. Not saying that they're the same, but I don't know. Let me not say something crazy. Um, let's see. Scrolling down. Um, let's see. Says I saw LL Cool J throw gummy bears in the crowd back in the '80s when he performed Candy. You know what though? You got to. That's part of the showmanship. You got to do stuff like that. Just the kind of things that just take it to the next level. That's funny though. Gummy bears is funny. Um, Ilroy, thank you so much. Says who's the best break dancer you ever saw? That's a hard question. Um, That's a hard question because I'm not a breakdance aficionado. So I don't know. Like, I went to a breakdance battle once. I think KRS was hosting a breakdance battle, and I think Master Ace was there. Big up Ace One. And there was kids from all over the world battling each other, and that was crazy. There was like Asian kids doing ridiculous. I'll tell you a funny breakdance story. There's a guy named Pee Wee Dance. I don't know if he was down with Rocksteady or the original Breakers. He's one of the original B-boys from back in the day. His name was Pee Wee Dance. I think he passed away. And he used to come to our shows sometimes. And he was mad cool. And I remember I was talking shit to him one day about breakdancing. I don't know why I was talking shit to Pee Wee Dance about. I said I can breakdance too, Pee Wee. I think I'll battle you. I don't know why I was saying that because I can't breakdance at all. But he might have been talking shit to me, and I turned around, I was talking shit to him. Who knows? And he was standing with his feet pointed this way. So he's standing talking to me, but he had on Pumas with fat lacings, and one foot was pointing this way, and one foot was pointing this way, and he's talking to me. And he said, yo, you want to battle what? And he did a move and jumped out his sneakers. And the sneakers were still pointing like this on the floor. And he was over there. I said, oh, he took me out so crazy. He jumped out his shoes and left the shoes in the same position they was in. Are y'all following what I'm saying? He jumped out his shoes and they were still like this, his Pumas with the fat laces, and he was over there. And he said, what were you saying? And we started laughing. It was crazy. That's the best thing I ever saw in my life. But I'm not saying he's the best ever, but I'm going to say that's the best thing I ever saw. So big up Pee Wee Dance. Rest in peace, my brother. Somebody could tell me what crew was he part of. But he used to come to a lot of BDP shows. Um, let's see. Kashanti says favorite Large Professor instrumental. I don't know about instrumental. I could name my favorite productions. That's even hard. Because my favorite out of all the stuff he's done a billion great beats. I think Faking the Funk, and he did a record with Havoc and Tragedy called the Funk Mode. Funk Mode and Faking the Funk, both of them got funk in it, are two of just the most ridiculous beats ever to me. From my brother, Large Professor. Um, Best Large Pro beat is Halftime. Halftime was dope. I mean, he has tons of dope beats. I loved Just Hanging Out. That's my record. I'm just hanging out. Me and my man Jetta used to sing that all the time. We used to laugh about that. JT says, KP killing me with the jumping out the shoe story. Yeah. Dude jumped out his shoes on me and left me he disrespected me so crazy. This is what I get for opening my mouth. And I know not to talk shit, but I don't know what I was thinking, man. And he murdered me. Rod Justice says, did you ever used to do the biz dance at the club? No, I never danced in a club in my life. One time. Gregory Ness says, Kenny, can you dance? No. The only time I think I mentioned, the only time I ever almost danced in a club was in the tunnel. My good girl, Moni Love, almost convinced me to come out on the dance floor. And I was already on the dance floor. So I wasn't coming, I was on the dance floor just chilling. And she just was kind of dancing, like, let's go, Kenny, let's see what you got. I had to wiggle my way out of that. Big up to my girl, Moni Love. That's my people. Um, that's the closest I ever came to dancing in the club. I'm usually on the wall. I'm one of them dudes. Um, D Nizzy, Kenny, did you know the legendary B-boy Charlie Rock? No. A lot of B-boys come to our shows because Chris knows all of them dudes. And quite a few of them has danced for us. I know, of course, Crazy Legs. Um, that's my people, but that's my brother, Crazy Legs. But I don't really know them like that. I wasn't in the breakdance community, but Chris knows a lot of those guys. So a lot of them been to our shows. Um, but yeah, I don't know them. CMC says, do you think we'll ever get a Firm 2 album? Nas, Foxy, Nature. Who else was it? Nas, AZ? Do they all get along? Wasn't Cormega supposed to be in the Firm, but something happened? Did he go to jail or something to Nature? I met Nature once. Big up Nature. Big up Nas. Big up AZ. That's the homie. I probably seen AZ the most out of all of them. I never met Foxy Brown. That would be cool. I'd be down to hear that. Probably not. Patrick Watts is just hanging out, had that Shelly Thunder. No, it was Sister Nancy sample. Big up Shelly Thunder. Coof. She's a good friend of BDP. I've been around Shelly Thunder. Chris produced some songs for her. I've been around Shelly Thunder a few times. Big up Shelly Thunder. Koof was huge in New York dance hall back in like 88, 89. I don't know if it was big where you guys were, but New York dance hall was huge. Is huge. There's a big West Indian population here, and Koof was a monster record back in like 88. Oh wow, this is the funniest shit ever, the heel dance. I'm not even gonna go into that because I don't even want that to even that's might be the funniest comment of the night, but I'm not even gonna elaborate on it so nobody will know what you're talking about. Um Kashanti says, were you high when you made Poisonous Products? That beat is otherworldly classic. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That beat, I talk about it. I do a whole sex and violence breakdown on this channel. For those that are new, about 2 years ago, I did a breakdown of Sex and Violence album, the stuff that I did, the making of the album, the aftermath, and I go into the whole story about the song Poisonous Products. Um, Thank you so much. That probably would have been a dope record to come out with. Thank you. I really appreciate. I appreciate anybody who liked any song, any beat that I ever made ever. If you just liked one, I'll take it. Evan May says, Kelly, do the Daylight Doyle dance. Yo, Benny Doyle, they're killing you. It might be over for you, Benny. Might be a wrap. Might be a wrap. I'm trying not to let Daylight Doyle stick, but yo, H Bully, H Bully, H Bully. Let's see if Heather appears. Uh, Marky She, Marky 3 He. I don't know. Marky She. The legend Kenny Parker, blessings. Blessings to you too. Um, Red Shot says KP can see walk. You know what's funny about that? The first time I saw that, we was in Cali, LA. It was like a summer jam for like a radio station. This had to be like 97 or 98. It was like 98. And on the show was Tribe, KRS, DMX, Pun, Cameron. That's how I met Cameron. And some other people. And it was like a big outdoor place. It was like 20,000. It was a big, I remember DMX murdered. Um, and somebody was doing that dance, we call it the Sea Walk. And I was like, what? It looked crazy to me. I'm like, what are they doing? And Mad Lion told me that that's the walk that the Seas do to kind of mark their territory. So when you see them doing this is how it was explained to me. So when you see them doing this dance, it's serious, actually. So I was under the impression that the Sea Walk is a serious, serious thing. Like when you see them doing that dance, it could be a problem. And then it went viral. And then you see all kind of people, pop stars and all kind of people doing the Sea Walk. And I always laugh like, yo, I thought it was a serious thing. Like it just turned into something else. And big up Dub C, who I think does the best Sea Walk I've ever seen. Big up Dub C. He might be the GOAT of Sea Walk. It was his Money Love got a new song produced by Primo. It's fire. Word? I have not heard this yet. I gotta look for that. Would love to get Moni on the show. MMA says, don't hold your breath on a firm too. Yeah, I know. But it would be cool. It would be cool. Um, Unizzi says, Kenny Biz Dance got booed at Union Square. They used to, yo, they used to do it in Union Square a little bit, but in Latin quarters, when Nobody Beats the Biz would come on, doom, 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 doom. He's Biz Markie. Yo, the whole Latin quarters used to be doing the dance. It used to be bananas. And this is no videos, no viral, no nothing. You just had to be in the clubs and know what it is. Like the Biz dance just grew from like grassroots word of mouth. But I used to come on the Latin quarters and the whole, they threw on the Biz Markie. And then I saw Biz do it at Latin quarters on stage. He came on stage with KRS once. They were doing Criminal Minded. And Chris did his show. And then Biz came out with Chris at the end, like a special guest. And they threw on Nobody Beats the Biz. And Biz started doing a Biz dance. It was over. placed to the ceiling. And May says Kenny can still do the Humpty dance. I have never done the Humpty dance. Oh, no. Cutie Pie, what's up? Um, let's see. Oh man, I'm scrolling down a little bit. Um, let's see. Who is the best beast boxer you think you see? I think Dougie is for how long he's done it, the way he did it on records, the way he did it live, how long he could do it, how he still makes it look fresh now. I'm going with Doug E. Fresh. I'm sure there's some other guys who were really, really dope, but Dougie for me was the beatboxer that I like to see. Um, let's see. I'm at the bottom, y'all. This is just ran. Oh no, this is not what I was. KP, did you attend the F? I don't know what the F is. This is what I was looking for. MMA says Tracy Spencer. That's just random. This house, remember that song? This house. I used to like. She had a couple of records. She had a slow jam, but I used to like this house. Let's hear it for the people. Shout out to Tracy Spencer. There's been so many artists that have come and gone in our lifetimes. Talented artists. Like Tracy Spencer was really talented. Yeah, Tender Kisses was the song. Thank you, Buffalo. That was dope too. Shout out to Tracy Spencer. Um, I'm at the bottom. I'm gonna go back up. I'm actually at the bottom for the first time in a long time. I'm gonna go back up and see um what I've missed a little bit. Um, let's see. But yeah, we was talking about dance hall. Ace Steel says I read somewhere that dance hall around that time was big in New York, Beantown, and Miami. Yeah, it was like three places where dance hall was big. I'm Miami. I could see because it's Jamaica is right there across the water, and New York because, like I said, a lot of West Indians are in New York City, tons. So much so that they have a West Indian Day parade in New York, and 1 million people come. Um, I don't know how Beantown got to be a hub for a dance hall. I don't know how that happened, but dance hall was gigantic in the 80s, and then BDP was pioneers of bringing that sound to hip hop. Yeah, so many dope records back then. Here it is. KP, did you attend the Fresh Fest back in the day? No. No, I was not. I wish I could have seen Run DMC. The first time I saw Run DMC perform, it wasn't until like 95, 93. I saw Run DMC perform in 93 for the first time when Down with the Kings was out. And they had the bald heads. I did not see Run DMC all the way till 93. Shanti says, name a few of your favorite slow jams of all time, please. That's a whole. We've done a whole slow jam. We've done slow jam segments on this channel. I'm not going to go into it again. We had whole evenings talking about slow jams. Um, I have so many, mostly from the 80s. I think the 80s was the golden era of slow jams for me, and I have tons. That reminds me, Spook Realm. haven't forgot about getting your step pops on the show. Spook Realm step pops sung in Tavares, who had a slow jam that I loved. Penny for your thoughts, a nickel for a kiss. Haven't forgot about that. We need to make that happen. Um, Derek Mallory says Tracy did a 3-hour interview like months ago. Word, I gotta check that out. Um, DJ Greenhorn, do you still dig for records? Yeah, a lot of 45s. I've been collecting a lot of 45s. Um, Mostly 45s. Um, let's see. KP, can you tell Benny Doyle that De La Soul is De La Great? You are Benny Doyle, right? Am I getting my names mixed up? Spook Realm, we appreciate you, DJ KP, because cats that actually interact with their audience are far and few in between. Your show is actually waited on by us. Good looking out, my guy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like I said, the origin of this live happened. We're 2 years, over 2 years straight. I just jumped on just to, say what's up and see how the live worked. And we had like a nice little crew. So I came back on like 2 or 3 weeks later and did it again. And we had a conversation just like this. And then I was like, we should do this every week. And people were like, yeah, let's do it every Tuesday. So we started doing it every Tuesday. Now it's Tuesday and Fridays. And we just rocking. And we're in overtime. We're 1 minute into overtime. I'm not going to go too late today, y'all, but I'm going to stay on for just a little while since I'm at the bottom. And holla at the people. Um, Please hit the like button if you get a chance. Helps the algorithm. And big up to the Rewind crew who's going to check this out later on. Um, why 45s, KP? Yeah, because I've been doing a lot of 45 only parties. Shout out to Mobile Mondays. Shout out to Vinyl Nights. Um, Shout out to my girl DJ Misbehavior. I used to, she's the one that started me in doing a lot of 45 parties. So I started like building up my 45 collection. Now I got a lot of stuff on 45, which is very hard to get on some records. So I've been doing that. So I DJ 45 parties. You know who's ridiculous on the 45s? Diamond D. If you get a chance to check out a Diamond D 45 party, ridiculous. KP, any Houdini stories? Not really. I don't think in my time with BDP we've ever done a show with Houdini. I'm super cool with Grandmaster D. That's my brother. If you please. Um, that's my dude. I did not know Ecstasy, although I met him. And I met Jalil once. So I met these guys once. But Grandmaster D is the homie. Um, I don't really I can't even think of a Houdini story. We never did any shows with them. And they were on Jive, just like BDP. But I never really crossed paths with Houdini. I just found out a few years ago that Jalil was writing all the songs. Jalil wrote all the Houdini records. He wrote all of Ecstasy's parts. Very interesting. Um, Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. At 1-2 deuce. Wait, let me see if I can get it right. I can't see it. 1-2-1 deuce. At 1-2-1 deuce. Thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Really appreciate it. 1-2-1-2. Really appreciate it. Wonder who came up with that. 1-2-1-2. Why didn't they say 1-2-3, 1-2-3? 1-2-1-2 sounds better, right? Um, Microphone check 1-2. What is this? The 5-foot assassin with the roughneck business. Rest in peace, Fife. I think his birthday was yesterday. Um, KP Kenny, was that you in the come to the rip shop overdub and feel the vibe? Yes, come to rip shop. Yes, that was me. Oh, that's a good call. I forgot about that. Rip shop. What was I even doing in the feel the vibe, feel the beat? I could be in the feel the beat, feel the vibe, feel the beat. I might have been in that. And then I said, rip shop. Yes, that is me in the overdub. I forgot all about that till you just mentioned it. Um, that's crazy. Um, Divine Existence, similar to Houdini, Kid wrote all of Play's lyrics. Did not know that either. Wow. So much ghostwriting back in the day. I'm not going to start that rant because y'all get mad at me when I do. Um, but yeah, I did not know that. Um, Lindell says DJ Imitators was the single by Don Barron, but I didn't know he had beef with Heavy. Yeah, that was the song was about Heavy D, I believe. DJ Imitators. Why everybody want to sound like me? I think he was on Strong City Records. Big up Don Barron. Um, we're in overtime, y'all. I'm gonna jump off in a little while. Um, I don't recognize this name, Queen La Madrina. Queen La Madrina. What's up? Live crew is slipping. The rewind crew be banging on that like button. The rewind crew is actually way bigger than the live crew, tell you the truth. But I love everybody. I love the live people and big up to my rewind crew. Yeah, come on, live crew. Y'all got to step up the like buttons, man. Um, Hype style. What if Public Enemy was signed to Jive Records? Would have been a wild run for sure. Yeah, but I don't know if Jive would have dedicated, put in the resources to PE like they would have on Def Jam. I think Def Jam did a better job with them. Like, I wonder what happened if Boogie Down Productions was on Def Jam and they got the same attention. That would have been ill. Um, let's see. Fife 1120 and Len Bias 1118. RIP. Yeah, we just met Len Bias. That's the biggest what if probably in basketball history. Um, let's see. Buffalo Gal. Ghost Riders, do they get paid well? No. Um, if you ghost write, it's whoever get publishing. You have to get credit in the publishing, in the credits. Your name has to be there. So, like for example, Jay-Z ghost wrote Still Dre for Dre and Snoop, right? He wrote the whole song for Dre and Snoop. That wasn't mentioned that they had a ghostwriter, but Sean Carter is in the credits. So Jay-Z gets paid from that song Still Dre because he wrote it and he's in the credits. So that's a ghostwriter, but to me, that's a little bit different. When I'm talking about ghostwriter, I'm talking about people who wrote songs and got no credit. Nobody even knows they did it. Now, if you was like Jalil or like Kid and Play, you got credit for the whole record because you're in the group. But a lot of people had MCs write songs for them and they took the dude's rhymes and never gave them nothing or gave them a little money up front and never gave them any money ever again. That's the jerk. Because even if you have a ghostwriter and you say, I'm not going to say anything who wrote this record, but I'm going to give you credit in the writer's credits. So if you look through the writer's credits, you'll see Buffalo Gal in the writer's credits as a ghostwriter. We don't know who Buffalo Gal is. Who's Buffalo Gal? We don't know what Buffalo Gal did, but the name is there. Could have been the music. We don't know. But you'll get paid. It's when they don't give any credit and act like they did it. That's the problem. So it depends on if they got credit. Sydney Rhodes, thank you so much for your contribution to the channel. Rip Shop, another great show. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to jump off shortly. Yeah. We haven't seen one of our favorite regulars on this channel in a minute. So I'm gonna big them up right now. Let me get some water for this, for my biggest hit. Big up to Anyway. Okay. Jason Wall, wow, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate this showcase. Thank you so much, Jason Wall. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. That's very nice of you. All right, I'm getting off. I'm at the bottom. I keep saying I'm at the bottom. Uh, She says, I sang it with you, Kenny. That's my biggest hit. That's my hit. I should remix it. Okay, I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. Yeah, that's funny. All right, y'all. Wait a minute. Who did I miss? Did I miss somebody here? I think I got everything. Okay. Yeah, I'm out. We will be back, God willing, on Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday. And y'all have a safe weekend. Bless up. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.